Well, when she leaves, she doesn't take her own car. She decides to rent a car. And she has told you, well, I rented the car out of Redding, California. And the reason that I rented the car out of Redding, California, which is approximately 90 miles south of Yreka, is because Priceline did not offer this same deal in Yreka. Priceline only offered it in Redding.
Well, I think there are car rentals in Yreka, but I went to, it was either Priceline or Expedia or Travelocity or Orbitz, one of those things, one of those travel websites where you put in your information to rent a car. The only nearest cities that were coming up were Medford, Oregon, and Redding, California. So I was going south. Medford's 50 miles north, Redding is south. I have family in both places, so I thought I could drive my car to either location, park it, and get on the road.
And that's why I went ahead and did it that way. It wasn't that I didn't want people in Yreka to know what kind of car I was renting, because heaven forbid, if they knew I was renting this car, it could come back to me. And of course, I don't want to be identified in killing Mr. Alexander, so I've already made provisions for the gas cans. Now I've got to make provisions for the car. And so she says that's the reason why she goes to Redding, California. Except that the documents show something else. Exhibit 523 is the statement from Washington Mutual from June 1 of 2008 to June 30 of 2008. And this is the statement that she, the defendant, authenticated on the witness stand. And in fact, what we have here is the budget rent-a-car. You see it, June 9th, budget rent-a-car in Redding, California. That's what we're talking about. But if you also remember, after she killed Mr. Alexander, she came to the memorial, and she flew down here. And if you take a look at down here, there it is. See that? She paid $246.99, and that was to Priceline.com, and it says air. This Priceline, they have to get their act together here. Yeah, at one point, when it comes down to the flight, I pay them, but when it comes to the car, even though I go through Priceline, I got to pay for the car. And how is Priceline ever going to get paid if they don't take their money up front for the rental car? That's how it works. They get their money up front.
Argue objection on the road. When you made the reservation on the car, do you remember what sort of information you had to provide, be it Orbitz or Priceline or whomever you garnered the car through?
To the best of my recollection, I needed to give my name, probably a phone number, and payment information.
Okay.
They get their money up front. And that's how it's listed in these documents, so that we know who's getting the money. Otherwise, if it were left a budget, then you're imposing upon budget, if Priceline is involved, another accounting step to then pay Priceline. And it may be a situation where Priceline never pays them. And the significance of that is not that she flew down here. The significance of that is that when that service is used, they note it. So by this document right here, when the defendant tells you that the reason I went to Redding was because of the Priceline connection, she lied to you. Unless, of course, Washington Mutual made this up. Maybe Washington Mutual also subscribes to the law of attraction, and they don't want to put anything negative here. Maybe. It could happen that way, right? That's what they want you to believe. Don't believe what's written down. Believe what I say. That's the same situation here as it is with those diaries. They want you to believe not what the diary said, what she tells you. They don't want you to believe what that document says. They want you to believe what she says. So now, we know that she goes to Redding after she's made provisions for the gas cans. She goes to Redding so that people will not recognize her because she is going to kill Travis Alexander. There is no other explanation for making up all these stories that we're talking about here. There is no other explanation.